Greetings, I greet you in the name of our Father, Mother God. I'm light, I send you my light. I'm love, I send you my love. And peace, I send you my peace. For all the words that you're going to listen to, in case they don't resonate with your heart, please ask you kindly to leave it or use it to amplify or uplift the knowledge within your being. Before starting today's reading, I would like you to make some conscious breaths, seeing yourself breathing through the mouth, bringing in light through your mouth and taking out darkness or the unknown through your very mouth. Let's do it now. Bring in light, take out darkness. Bring in light, take out the unknowing. Bring in light, take out the unknowing. Place your hands on your heart. Your heart is the temple of your Holy Spirit. Please get to know that you came here to discover the heaven within you. But when you got here, you got deceived to think that you are looking for heaven outside you. It's time to remember that your true identity is not outside of you, is not out there, but within your own heart. Discover your own divinity. Before I start today's reading, usually I suspended the lessons of English because of my personal reasons. But because of the festival season, I've decided to bring in some light to some things, especially for those who don't understand Luganda that I major in, to help you understand some issues spiritually. Before I start the reading, there are some issues that I want to enlighten, basically about most of the light workers. Most light workers don't understand that there is one spirit that can change form in many ways. Now, like the Christ being, for us Baganda, we call him as Bulamu, but it can change form from Christ. In biology, it's called the divine neutron. It can change form and it becomes death. It can become death. It can become the great spirit. You understand? So they are the same. So we have like other beings like La. For us, we call him Chiwanuka, the god of the sun. He has many names, but he can transform. In English, he has many names. The god of fire, Thor or Confucius. He can turn to become Archangel Metatron. Is the same, but it changes in form. It can change to Archangel. It can change to Archangel Lucifer, and the feminine changes to Lucy. You understand? But they are all the same. They are all the same. They come from the sun god, which we Baganda we call Chiwanuka, but they are the same spirits that keep on transforming. You understand? So we have like the divine architecture, the supreme divine architecture. In biology, you can call him as the divine mastocytary nucleus. That is in biology. But it can transform in many ways, in other forms, from the personal level, national level, and then planetary level. You understand? So it changes in other names. You understand? But they remain the same. So like Archangel Arcturius. Archangel Arcturius is the one who transforms as Archangel Gabriel. So I've just given you some of the examples so that I enlighten you of how these spirits can transform, and you think that they are separate, they are different entities, but in actuality they are the same, changing in role and being called a different name, but in actual sense they come from the same original principle of their being. Understand? So that's the light that I wanted to shed today. So today's reading is from the Arcturian group. It says like this: dear readers, because today comes at the time of horrid activities and guests, we wish to once again, as we have done it in the previous years, explain the symbolism of the Christmas story in this message. The narrative everyone is familiar with is so much more than the story of one man born 2,000 years ago, because it is every man and woman in story. It is important to understand that the word Christ is not a name, but a title meaning the anointed one. Many believe that the word Christ represents only to Jesus, who was such an evolved state of consciousness. Who was of such an evolved state of consciousness that he was indeed an anointed one. But Christhood never has or ever can be limited to one person. Christ's state of consciousness silently, secretly, and patiently awaits within every person, because it is the reality of their true selfhood as God individualized. Like it or not, believe it or not, every person is destined at some point remember this simple thing, because it is who they are. Mary and Joseph represent a state of consciousness that is very close and spiritually prepared to ascend into Christ consciousness, but not fully there, being forced to take a long and difficult journey in the late stage of pregnancy. Represent the difficulties and hardships that accompany this stage of every person's spiritual journey, because it is a time of being forced to leave behind such people that you have always known or been comfortable with, in order to move beyond that is old and finished into a higher state of consciousness. No room in the inn represent a person's inability to align with or enter into energies they have spiritually outgrown. This involves people, places, and things they once were aligned with, but are no longer, because their consciousness has evolved into a new and higher level. The stable represent a state of consciousness emptied of duality, separation, and two powers. Christ cannot be born in a state of consciousness that are already filled with materialism and false beliefs of the third dimension belief systems. The wise men represent those who are able to recognize true Christ consciousness, regardless of where and when or through whom it may manifest. They are not fooled by three-dimensional and ego-driven spirit pretenders and false prophets. They are drawn to and seek out those of true consciousness as teachers, honoring them in ways that ordinary three-dimensional thinking does not understand. Elodie represents the fear of annihilation that governs the three-dimensional, the third-dimensional state of consciousness, because Christ's consciousness threatens many commonly accepted laws, ideas, and traditions of separations, and also the ability to maintain power over others. The Elodies of the world always try to harm, ridicule, eliminate, and kill real truth in whatever form they find or suspect it, in person or persons, in evolved teachings or churches, books, writings, or in ideas that threaten their belief systems and power. Christ consciousness automatically overrides the three-dimensional state of power and righteousness that so many continue to grasp tightly, because it is the only reality, not subject to concepts intended to block, remove, destroy, and or eliminate it, often under the guise of being for one's good. The newborn Christ must be held silently and secretly within until it has time to mature and become strong enough to face the melodies of the world that continue to manifest through government, self-righteousness, laws, organized religion, doctrines, politicians, and even family and friends. Keep your newborn Christ safe within, like a precious jewel that you allow only the variable jewels and those able to understand and align with the higher truth to see. If lovingly nurtured, the newborn Christ consciousness will become strong, mature, and prepared to go in the three-dimensional world as the spiritual light serving there, needed without fear. Many are already there. Blessings and joy to you, and it's yours. It's your time to celebrate the Christmas, Hanukkah, or Kaja, or Lua, or whatever word that you give this celebration time. We are the Arcturian groups. Namaste.